What's up, media? What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. The bye week is finally over, and the Niners have won. Sixth seed now in the NFC. I'm feeling good. I'm ready to go. It's Titans week, so let's get into it. I got to switch my sound really quickly. Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me? Okay, there you go. There you go.
Yep.
All right, cool. Anyway, happy Monday, guys. Media. Anshul, thanks for joining. How you been doing, dude?
Good, man. Just been busy with school, finishing up the semester, so
Is this your
can't
last
wait to be done like by Wednesday.
Wednesday? Awesome. We get to go home, enjoy the Christmas break.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, it was a good weekend. I think we should just dive into it a little bit. The 49ers now possess the 6th seed in the NFC, and the Niners didn't even have to play. No matter what was going to happen this weekend, the Niners were going to get that 6th seed, whether the Packers or the Bears were to win. And it happened for the Niners. It would have been great. They could have had a chance to get the 5th seed also if the Rams would have lost or the Seahawks would have lost. But it was kind of a stretch. The Rams played the Cardinals, and they absolutely blew them out. And then the Seahawks played the Falcons, also blew them out. But yeah, what are your thoughts so far on the playoff picture? What are you 9-4 Niners? Did you ever expect them to be like in the race like this right now?
With the amount of injuries they've had, no, I don't think anybody really saw that coming with again the amount of injuries that this team has sustained. And it's not just, oh, they've been sustaining this week when it came all the way into camp where, guys like Jacob Cowan got hurt. I mean, you just kind of saw a riffling effect where like it's, running backs getting hurt. Then
Yeah.
it's like, oh, next thing we hear is now wide receivers are getting hurt. Then we've seen Kittle and Purdy, miss a substantial amount of the season. And you have to give it, I think, a lot of it to the coaching staff. I think in the offseason, when I thought about it, I was like, this is a really good coaching staff. Did I think it maybe still be this good again with the amount of injuries? No, because I felt like the depth was lacking to prior years. And yeah, there's certain areas where definitely you can see that, but then there's just certain areas where they've totally been, injured quite a lot, like the linebacker position, right? I don't know if you saw, actually, the Niners did claim a linebacker off of waivers today from the Denver Broncos, and they placed, there we go,
There it
Ben
is.
Barch. Garrett Wallen was claimed off waivers. So that tells me that maybe they don't feel too good about a guy like Tatum Bethune, because I know they did end up, signing Eric Kendricks a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
As well. So, I mean, I think we can't ask for anything better than what it's been, especially with all these injuries that the Niners have had. But I mean, I think maybe I'm sure we'll get into these position groups, so I'll kind of save it. But yeah, those are my kind of initial thoughts.
Yeah, like you said, linebackers really injured. Garrett Wallow, I've never really heard about him that much, but here's his stats in case anyone wants to know. He's drafted in 21 to the Texans for 2 seasons, played 17 games, 13 games, then played on the Titans for 3 games in 23. And it looked like maybe it was on someone's practice squad or something, or wasn't even in the league.
Special teams type
Special
of guy.
teams, and then 2025 with the Broncos for 7 games. But yeah, I think, like you said, kind of like a depth piece for sure. 49ers faithful forever 90. They're trying to avoid Gifford getting snaps. That's probably what it is too. Gifford, I saw actually a thing today about him on special teams. He's actually really good. He's got like the second most tackles on special teams. So he's definitely, that's what he came in here for too. That's what Brent Miller brought him in here for special teams. Terrible in coverage when he's actually playing defense. But other than that, he's a solid piece. Into in the conference and 4-1 the division, we in good shape. Oh, we're in fantastic shape right now. Yeah, I mean, those early wins against the Seahawks and the Rams are huge because now they're late in the season and the Rams and Seahawks still have to play each other again also. It's going to be some big playoff implications there. The Faithful Den also on Instagram. Yeah, shout out him. He got me this hat. Just came in today. Make sure to go check out the Faithful Den if you guys haven't already also. But yeah, I appreciate the hat, Matt. Let's see what else here. We got Captain Niner, Talofa,
What
Faithful.
up, Captain Niner?
How you doing? But yeah, so the 49ers right now have the 6th seed. We could take a little closer look into this playoff picture. David Lombardi actually posted it today. The 49ers have an opportunity at the end of the season to potentially get the 1st seed in the NFC, which is something that I wouldn't have thought of at the very beginning of the season. Here it is. The 49ers will be favored in the next 3 games, obviously. Let's see. And then LA loses to either Detroit or Seattle, which I think I think the Rams are playing the Lions this week. And Green Bay has to lose to the Broncos or the Bears, which both of these things are completely
Yeah,
viable.
doable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very doable. And then the last game of the season, the Niners play the Seahawks, and that would be for the 1st seed. And at the very beginning, I'm gonna have to find the clip of myself saying this, but I said the Niners are going 11-6, and I can almost guarantee you that Seahawks game is gonna be coming down to a divisional spot or getting into the playoffs or something. So it's kind of shaping up like that right now. What are your thoughts on Lombardi's tweet right here?
Yeah. Like you said just a bit ago, Niners weren't even playing. They were on their bye, and they ended up getting a bit of help. Right now, I believe they moved up to the 6th seed. Is that right?
Yeah, 6th seed right now.
Yeah, and so I mean, hey, that is definitely doable. Where I'd say the Rams losing to Seattle, I feel like is a little I could see that happening more than Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, sorry. I think both of those are doable because I don't think Detroit's playing it. Like they've been kind of inconsistent. I
Yeah,
feel
they
like,
beat up on
and
the Cowboys, which I was honestly kind of
yeah,
surprised about.
and I feel like it makes sense because of the coaching, obviously changes that they've dealt with this, whole season.
Yeah.
And then Green Bay, they just haven't looked as good in
Mm-hmm.
my opinion. So definitely we'll see
Yeah.
that. But yeah.
And just imagine that storyline too. I think it was Johnny Dells posted on Twitter. It's like, this is if the NFL is scripted, this would be the script to go with right now. The 49ers could get the 1st seed, have all home playoff games, and then have the playoff or have the Super Bowl at home and win it. And this would be the season the Niners do win it. Everyone's injured. Fred Warner's gone. Nick Bosa's gone. It's probably the least talented roster out of the 23 and 2019 season. And then they end up winning the Super Bowl. That'd be pretty nuts.
Hey, I would accept this script.
No, I would accept that.
Because you know why? Guess who's probably not making the playoffs this year?
The Chiefs. We have to talk about that.
Exactly.
Yes.
The Kansas
How
City
about that
Chiefs,
game
bro.
yesterday?
Yeah, everybody's like, dude, the Chiefs, man. You know why? Because first of all, I think they've had a huge Super Bowl hangover. Second of all, you don't have the refs over here helping the goddamn Chiefs. You know that.
And yeah, I mean, the Texans look like the real deal too, but the Chiefs, they're 6-7 right now. I think if since they lost yesterday, I don't think they're even able to win the AFC West. So I think one more game and they're out of the playoffs, I would assume. So, I mean, this is the time for the Niners to take over. This is the one time, because the Chiefs are their kryptonite. If they're able to make it to the Super Bowl, I'm saying they're winning it all. Even for the Bills, if the Niners don't make the Super Bowl, I want to see the Bills win it because this is Josh Allen's best chance in order to win it. But they're not. I mean, I feel like the Bills aren't having that great of a season. Josh Allen's not great as
I feel like that defense too, is definitely. I mean, Buffalo just hasn't had that good of a defense last few years.
Yeah. But yeah, this is the opportunity literally for the entire NFL to seize their moment and win this thing. And hopefully it goes for the Niners. But yeah, it's awesome to see that Houston defense. They've been on a win streak ever since they beat the Niners, and they're the real deal. They kind of remind me a little bit of the 2019 Niners, but I feel like the Niners had a way better offense, just defensively. If they get CJ Stroud could just get going a little bit, I feel like they can actually do some real damage in the playoffs. So we got a chat here. Lack of pass rush still scares me against competent offenses. I agree with that one. I mean, we played the Panthers, who, hey, they put up 31 points against the Rams, though. We only
Mhm.
gave up 9 to them, and then the Browns, it was 8 points, or flip that around. I think that's right.
Yeah.
But I feel like Cleveland Farrell's heating up a little bit. Keon White's heating up a little
Yeah.
bit. The Niners should be getting back your Turgros Matos this week as well. We're
Yeah,
getting
but he's kinda like Ben Barch, where it's like, "Eh, you get him back. How
getting back for
much?"
2 quarters.
Yeah, how much are they gonna actually get him? That's my biggest thing is, like, not going away from the seating even,
Mhm.
is just the fact that, okay, I know maybe you'll have Fred Warner, but that's like an outside chance. You're obviously not gonna have Nick Bosa. Whatever you wanna say about Mykel Williams, I get it. Maybe he didn't do as much, but I definitely think he helped with the stop and the run
Yeah.
pretty much right away, and you're not gonna have those guys, unfortunately, this year. That's where I see that the Niners would be lacking. And then obviously experience for some
Mhm.
of the guys, but I wouldn't be as concerned about the experience because at least you'd have, the Nick Bosa's, the George Kittles, the Fred Warners, the Diamador Lenores,
Yeah.
um, and stuff like that. But again, you don't have that. And yeah, I think really like if it obviously sucks and can't do anything about it, but man, if they just had like I think even if they just had Fred Warner, I'd give them a higher chance.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that because I mean those are your 2 best players on defense, and like you said, just experience-wise, just having that leadership on the field too, it does so much. But I feel like right now the Niners have, especially on defense, have so much confidence because of what they've been doing to, yeah, subpar Browns team, a mediocre Panthers team.
Mhm.
But they got another opportunity to dominate against the Titans this week coming up. And I think
Yeah.
that one is actually going to be a little tougher. They put up what 31 points on the Browns also. You can't take them lightly.
Yeah.
It should technically be another bye week. If the 49ers are the real deal, they should be able to put them away.
Hey, I need them to win because I don't want to go to a game and then be like, "Oh, I watched them lose."
Oh, is
Like,
that the one you're going to?
yeah, I'm gonna be at the game this weekend.
Then it's automatic win. They're definitely gonna win.
So,
Let's see. If this isn't the season, it won't come again for a while.
yeah.
Mm, yeah, I mean, I could see that. I could see it going both ways.
I mean, yeah, because the thing is, the NFL is a year to year like basis where like around among any other like league, right? NBA, MLB,
Yeah,
NHL is like you in the NFL because the amount of games are obviously like way less. You can see so much to go with it, but definitely going to be interesting to see what ends up happening there with that. But man, I think again that's where I'm worried about just the lack of kind of experience, but especially just not having some of these guys.
yeah.
Um, but yeah,
But I mean, this is the time where you say if you're Kyle Shanahan, you're the offensive guru kind of mind. You have every single offensive player back and healthy right now,
yeah,
and they've kind of showed it the past couple weeks. They're able to be that high velocity offense
mhm,
that they need to be to win games. George Kittle talked about
yeah.
it.
Offense is
That we
stinking
have to
next
carry,
year.
we have to carry this defense, and it's gonna kind of be like the Cowboys situation where their defense has gotten a little better now, but like they're a high powered offense, and
Yeah,
you got to put up 31 points and only allow 30 points in a game. It's going to be these shootout kind of games,
yeah,
especially when we go down to play the Bears or to play the Seahawks the final game of the season. And I think we
yeah.
kind of roll into what about, I don't want to get too ahead, obviously, because we're playing the Titans, but the Colts, what about that? Daniel
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting because not Daniel Jones, but hey, we'll see. Also, I don't know if you saw, but the Niners did or are planning to open Curtis Rourke's practice window now. It's
Yeah.
just like so that he can kind of get some, time and help, I guess, run scout team and stuff. So I mean, you don't expect them to elevate him. I think it would have been a redshirt year. And he is man, just imagine like next year if it's Purdy, Mac Jones, and then Rourke, like
That's a great quarterback room
that's
right
gonna be a
there.
nice quarterback room. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. But I did see that I guess Philip Rivers could be
Mhm.
coming out of
I
retirement,
saw they're going to
which
work
is
him out.
quite
And he's like
interesting. But
grandpa. He's got like 2 grandkids already.
yeah, I
It's
mean,
insane.
he's gonna be the backup if they end up signing him. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, it's honestly sad to see just because like obviously Daniel Jones has done this much. Probably could have gotten a payday like a Sam Darnold
Right.
got, and it's just also the whole story for the Colts, man. It just like does that take him out of comeback player of the year, I guess? That
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it potentially would, you know? I don't know who else would be up for comeback player of the year. Christian McCaffrey,
yeah, Christian McCaffrey,
right?
yeah.
So maybe that helps out Christian McCaffrey a bit. And I hate the injuries. It does suck for Daniel Jones and for the Colts. You know, they start off 7-1, 8-1 like that, and they kind of been
Yeah.
falling off a little bit. Um, I don't I feel bad that the injury happened, but for the 49ers, it's good because now they're facing the Colts, and it should
Yeah.
be luckily, hopefully another win. Charvarius
Yeah.
Ward just went in concussion protocol again. Sauce
Mm.
Gardner's, I don't know if he's gonna be playing. DeForest Buckner, I don't know if he'll be playing. It everything is kind of falling in place for the 49ers where they were so injured at the beginning of the season and now
Yeah.
everyone's getting healthier and healthier. And it's kind of the opposite is happening now for these other teams where they're slowly
Yeah.
getting more injured. And that's why I really like this week 14 bye because it was perfect. You know, grind out that first 13 weeks of the season and where we're at now, 9-4, get a little break, get a little bit more of a break with this Titans game. And like that David Lombardi post, if they were somehow to get that 1 seed, then you have another bye week being the number
Mhm.
1, and then all
Yeah.
home games. It's
Mhm.
it could line up to be a perfect season for the 49ers.
Yeah.
I would have never
Um,
expected at the beginning of the
I
year.
don't know if you wanted to kind of get into each position group or not. Like maybe we can talk about kind of how we feel
Yeah, let's do it.
they've done, in the before the bye.
Let's see this chat real quick. This D isn't built currently to stop the pass or rush. It's been slowly D. Hope to hold to field goal. What is built on is getting takeaways and spot to flip the field for the offense. Yeah. And
I agree.
that's part of it. And the special teams though too, I've talked about a little bit.
We gotta talk about that. But
We
yeah,
gotta
no,
talk about the prop. You gotta give
I agree
props to
with
special
Jason.
teams.
I know Jason's been saying that. I've also been kind of saying that
Uh-huh.
last few weeks. Is yeah, I think this defense is like he says. It's not about stopping the run or getting a lot of sacks and stuff, but it's about playing smart and being able to like force those turnovers.
What's up, Rich?
Just not giving up on the play. That's exactly what I feel like this defense is predicated on right now.
Yeah, we saw it the past 2 weeks. If they can only give up 20 points now to like good teams like the Seahawks or like the Brown or the Bears, I mean, I think they're continually playing better. The 49ers rookies have been getting better. Upton Stout's been looking good.
Mhm.
And like I said, Cleveland Farrell, I think he's been kind of that sneaky good
Martin.
pickup, man. And I really wish the 49ers would just made a little bit bigger of a splash at that trade deadline, getting a bigger player. Luckily, it wasn't like that Trey Hendrickson because now he's
Mhm.
looks like he's going to be out at the rest of the season. But
Yeah. Yeah, if we want to get into maybe position groups or
yeah, what position do you think you want to start with?
I'll let you decide on that one since I know it's your show.
All right. I mean, we stick to the offensive side of the ball. Let's start with receivers. I think that's a hot topic.
Oh man, that one's tough to grade because obviously you don't have Brandon Ayuk, and
Yeah.
obviously we know that saga. Ricky Pearsall's missed a good amount of the year. Jordan Watkins, been injured too,
Yeah.
inactive now that he's been healthy. Obviously, Jacob Cowing. I didn't see anything today if they're opening his window or not. But
Or
obviously, he's been dealing with a hamstring the entire
for
year.
Cowan or
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I
So
saw
that
yeah.
one's tough to grade. Mm,
I'd say the fact that the 49ers have been able to win these games with these subpar, you could say
yeah,
subpar receivers, I'd give them a B plus, you know. Demarcus Robinson, Kendrick Bourne. I mean,
yeah.
these Jawan Jennings at the beginning of the season, I'd give him he was like an F for me, but now the
Yeah,
past
if I was from the beginning of the season, I'd probably give it like a C minus just because Jennings.
yeah, yeah.
I'd say probably like a B minus.
Yeah, I see that's pretty good. And now Jawan Jennings has been healthy and he's been playing really great. He's been that third and
Yeah.
Jawan that the Niners know and love. Is
Mhm.
Jacob Cowan the dude that made coffee with Ricky?
Oh my god. I know we're gonna get so much hate, Jason.
Jacob Cowan stan. I don't know if it was Larry Kruger or Matt Barrows or somebody talking about Jacob Cowan. They're saying like if they were to open up the practice window, they'd probably only do it if, you know, some receiver were to get injured.
Yeah, I saw that maybe like last week or week before. I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think here's a big one. How about the offensive line? I'll start off with this one. So at the very beginning of the season, Trent Williams was playing absolutely terrible. I talked about it with Rich towards the beginning of the season too. The first, 3 to 4 games for Trent Williams is technically like his preseason because he doesn't play in the preseason. It takes a couple
Yeah.
weeks to get acclimated, and I didn't think it was ever going to happen for him. I thought he was finally washed, but he has been playing better in more recent weeks. And they're kind of a lot healthier now too, dealing with that left guard situation. Connor Colby had 2 games that were pretty good, started kind of falling off. Jake Brendel also has been up and down.
Jake
Dom
Brenda was fantastic for the start, though.
He was fantastic for the start. Dom Pooney, he was injured at the beginning of the season also, dealing with that knee thing. And now he's kind of looking like Dom Pooney from last year. And then Colt McKivitz has just been Colt McKivitz, just right here, said he's the highest rated tackle on PFF, which is actually crazy to think about.
I mean, dude, he did fantastic against Myles Garrett. I don't think he
Yeah.
let up even a sack. So
Yeah. So you got to give this offensive line went from, I'd give it like a D minus rating to, I'll give it a B plus. I'm going to give it a
yeah,
B plus considering the players they have. And you think this is a mediocre to borderline bad offensive line towards the right side of the line outside of Trent Williams. And I think they're playing to like great, especially with Brock Purdy. He helps them a lot, being able
yeah.
to evade pass rush and everything. So I think that kind of helps the grade. But I've been impressed with this offensive line the past 3 weeks.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the B+2 offensive line. I think Spencer Burford, man,
Mm.
he has been really good, impressive in my opinion. And I know they were kind of rotating him in and out when Barch was healthy, but at the end of the day, it was always like I never like to see players get hurt, but we all know how injury prone Ben Barch
And
is, and
Ben
it's
Bush
like,
is playing
oh,
good too.
now he's
So
on the IR. It's like, okay, that was
yeah.
kind of impressive. I know he missed a few weeks, but yeah, I think that left side's playing well. Honestly, yeah, it's been a good offensive line in the last few weeks, especially.
Yeah. Okay, let's switch over. We'll go back and forth now from like offense, defense. Let's talk about the safeties a little bit because I feel like that's been controversial, especially at the beginning of the season. But I feel like they've honed in again. Like Malik Mustafa, once he finally returned
Yeah,
after a couple weeks from his ACL, he wasn't looking great at first. But now that him and Jair Brown, I'm impressed with Jair Brown because he was not looking good at the beginning of the season, and now they're
Jair Brown saw you all hating on him
yeah.
and was like, "Hey, I just need my boy Mustafa back."
And that's what it
Safety.
was, I think, and I'm loving it because they're both big physical, safeties.
Yeah.
They're actually tackling finally again. They're playing better in coverage, and I think it's a little bit due to how well the D line has been playing the recent weeks as
Yeah,
well.
I'm trying to think.
But for the safeties overall, I'd give them a B plus also because they're not the greatest,
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna get like a B-, I think.
yeah. And then it sucks because Marquis Siegel had a strong start to the season also, but he kind of I felt like
Yeah.
was falling off a bit. But then also Mustafa was back, so
Yeah,
I
it's
think he's
just a
gonna be
little bit
good
of
in
the
the future.
coverage needs to impress with Siegel.
Yeah,
But,
he's definitely a hard hitter. Okay, let's go. What about running backs? Chris McCaffrey. We'll throw on Juice in there, and then obviously Brian Robinson Jr. I'll let you go ahead.
I'm going A.
Yeah,
That run game was looking iffy, but that was because when the offensive line is a kind of work in progress, you expect that, and we see it every year. Where especially when you have guys kind of going in and out, and Ben Barch was kind of trying to at least be the guy.
yeah,
It's going to take some time. So I think this running game has been really good. Brian Robinson, man, if they can somehow bring him back in the off season, that'd be great because I think he's gotten better as the weeks gone on,
yeah,
and obviously we've been using him more, which I've loved.
yeah. We've actually been using him, which is good. He's earned his snaps.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd give him an A minus. I think they've been solid, and I think it's highly due to Christian McCaffrey just being, Rich just said in the chat, an Iron Man. Because you look at like the yards per carry, and their yards per carry isn't great this year. I don't know what it is right now, but I mean, in multiple weeks, it was like 3.2, 3.3, 3.4. But they're still winning ball games, and somehow this run game has been efficient, even though it's been like hard to get like multiple yards on a play every single time. But Christian McCaffrey, wide receiver and running back in one, and then obviously Brian Robinson Jr., who when the Niners traded for him, we're like, all right, we got two starting running backs on this team. I can't wait to use them a lot and like both of them and like
Mhm.
let Christian McCaffrey relax a little bit, let Brian Robinson get some snaps, and finally the past 5 weeks now, they've actually been using him, and he's been looking great. He's that bulldozer running back that the 49ers needed. And
Yeah.
it sucks for Garendo to see him just completely fall off a cliff on this team,
Yeah,
but
and just be
it
special
was a good pickup
teams.
for the Niners.
Yeah. I think they also couldn't rely on Garendo because he also had some injury
Yeah,
problems, and they're like, okay, we can't. If we're gonna try to have the
rely
1-2 kind of punch even somehow, it's like, okay, we better kind of upgrade. And then obviously the whole Jordan Mason thing too. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I still don't know why we traded him away, but
Yeah.
okay, so let's go running back. So now we got back on the defensive side of the ball. Let's go corners.
Ooh.
We got Upton
Hmm.
Stout, Diamador Lenore, Renardo Green. I feel like Green has been the
That
weakest link.
one's hard to grade because they don't throw much to Lenore. Renardo Green, I thought, has looked better, kind of struggled at the beginning, but I
Mhm.
feel like that always happens with the corners just because you kind of got to get your foot rolling. And then it's like, I feel like you can get some of the rust off in like preseason, but obviously you're not going against number ones or even number twos sometimes. So
Yeah,
that's kind of hard. Um, and then I think guys like um Chase Lucas even coming in at times when guys like Upton Stout have struggled have looked pretty solid. I'm gonna give it like a B.
yeah. I was gonna say I'd give him a B also. They haven't been elite, but they've been getting the job done. Especially when the D line was struggling so much this season, but they definitely progressed better. Chase Lucas is a dog, and I was excited to see him come in or to make a spot on this team this year. And then I think when Upton Stout was injured, he really stepped up, and I think he made a
Yeah.
big play in that first Rams game. I can't remember, but it was one of the big plays that he made. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, Ronaldo Green is definitely I think he's been the weakest link, especially in recent weeks. He hasn't been playing bad, but out of like Demo and Upton Stout, I think he's been the weaker link out of the two. And then Upton Stout, I think he's the guy that the 49ers expected him to be when they drafted him. He's been a dog.
Yeah.
He struggles a little bit in coverage, but I feel like he's continuously getting better and better each week. And he's a
And
physical
yeah.
guy. He reminds me of Kwan Williams.
That's what I've loved, even though they've taken him out in a couple times, and I think it's been mostly because he's been a little bit banged up. But
Yeah,
that's what I've loved what they've done with Upton Stout. And when you have a DB that is struggling at times and you take them out, that is the last thing you want to do
yeah,
because that shoots their confidence. And then it's like the next thing you come in and you're like, my gosh. That's why you guys remember what's his name, the corner.
that was on the Niners.
Witherspoon.
Oh, with this,
Witherspoon,
yeah,
right? Remember, he'd always like have these runs where he'd be really good and then he'd
yeah, and then be
kind
the
of
worst corner
fallen
in the league.
off. And then
Yeah.
it's like he'll be stuck on there. And you have Ambry Thomas kind of like that too, which I
Mhm.
think it's totally different with a guy like Ambry Thomas. But that's what I've loved with a guy like Upton Stout is they're not just giving it over to Chase Lucas. They're going with the guy that they think is for the future
Yeah.
and giving those guys those opportunities. And I feel like that's been around the entire team where it's like whatever you want to say about what's his name? Nick Martin, right?
Right.
It's like everybody's like, "Oh, Nick Martin should be playing." It's like I'm actually fine he wasn't playing because the thing is, it takes the linebackers, I feel like, a few weeks
Mhm.
to
Sometimes even
where
a few
they really
years.
start get going. Because I think if you didn't have a guy like Dre Greenlaw, we would have seen the exact same thing with the guy like D Winters, where he's sitting on the bench for like a good 3-4 weeks. Then you unleash him, and then he's still looking this good. I
Yeah.
think the Niners are linebacker university, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Um, and
I
so that's what I've loved that the Niners have been like sticking with these rookies. Yes, besides Siegel, but whatever. Like Mustafa's still young; it's only his second year.
Yeah, even Brown is young.
Yeah, Brown's young. I
Oops.
think
Yeah.
last year you can kind of say was just a fluke. Also, you had Sorensen as your
Yeah, that too.
DC. So I'm gonna personally give him a pass. It's like this is technically second year too. So that's what I've loved about this, like young movement, this rookie movement that the Niners have been sticking on. And they're sticking to their plan.
I love it. Yeah. And it's funny just talking about like the rookie sensations like coming in, or this rookie revolution going into this season. Like
Mhm.
I projected the Niners to go 11-6, but I didn't really project them to be Super Bowl favorites or Super Bowl contenders. And now the way they've been playing, the grit that I've seen from this team, I retract my original statement from saying, yeah, this is just a wash of a season. These rookies are going to get some experience, and hopefully we'll make a play for next season, next Super Bowl. But I mean, the way things have been shaping up right now and how wide open this NFC is, I c- I can see the 49ers making a Super Bowl run. And they're a young team and everything, but if this offense really can carry them and this defense can continue to play, um, this bend don't break defense with Robert Saleh at the helm, I mean, I think they're looking good. Before we get into any more grades, I want to got a chat in Instagram. This was interesting a couple minutes ago
Mhm.
from Nadia Presende. Not about this, but she said, I know you guys are talking about this year, but I want to know your opinion and your feeling about having a game here in Brazil in 2026. We have a huge amount of
Mm.
Niners fans here. So I'm assuming, Nadia, thank you for joining the Instagram live. I'm assuming you're from Brazil. That is interesting. I've never really been a big fan of like the teams going overseas, at least for the 49ers, just because like all the travel and it's like, oh, it's going to be sucky for them. But Brazil, it's kind of like Mexico City. The Niners had tons of fans
Yeah.
there. So if there's tons of fans in Brazil, I say bring them over if the Niners do have to play an international game. If it's not London, let's go to Brazil, and that'd be sick to see a whole bunch of Niner faithful there.
Yeah, it's awesome to see that they've been playing in like Mexico City. Was it 2 years ago? I want to say.
Yeah,
I would love for them to play in like London because I know there's a whole like UK group out
that is true,
there.
actually, huh? There's a big,
Then also, yeah, Brazil. I would love to see the Niners. But it's also kind of tough though because when you're also a West Coast team and then having to play some of these East Coast teams, you're already traveling
yeah,
so much. And then I think you also had this, crazy week 14 bye where it's like, do you really want to give them a late bye and then also have them play overseas?
yeah.
I
So
think it
maybe,
would have just complicated it too much if they had done that, but I
yeah.
would love to see it.
That'd be sick. I mean, if it's earlier in the season, I mean, by all means, because I feel like later in the season, international games just take so much more of a
Yeah,
toll.
make it that kind of early where
Make an
it's
earlier
what
one.
was it like we
That'd
had
be
that
great.
Eagles Packers one
Man,
last year or whatever.
yeah,
Make it an early like game. I agree.
yeah. It's crazy to see just how many Niner fans are over the world. I like the
Yeah,
UK one. I did remember seeing that. I
yeah,
didn't think there was a lot before, but Mexico City and Brazil, that's pretty sick. But that'd be cool, Nadia. I would like to see them go over there and be able for the Brazilians to go
yeah,
watch a Niner game and root them on.
yeah.
Okay, so we did safeties. Back onto the offensive side of the ball, we did O-line is the last one. Just tight. We'll just do tight ends because we got
Titans, yeah.
quarterbacks after. Tight ends. What do you think?
I'm giving them an A. And the fact is, when George Kittle got hurt and was missing a lot of games, we're like, my gosh, we're so screwed because, this tight end group, it's like they've been drafting guys, which I don't think they've been trying to draft enough personally,
Yeah.
where I think they need to be drafting a tight end every year till they get it right.
Mhm.
And then it was kind of like these free agents too. But the reason I'm giving it an A is because Jake Tonjes, man, took this resurgence for his career, for the
Yeah.
Niners, for that backup tight end, right? He scored his first touchdown earlier on in the year.
Mhm.
And
The
I
game winner.
just, yeah. And then Luke Farrell has been pretty good,
Mhm.
especially blocking wise. We've seen him a little bit in the receiving game, but we know he's number one blocking in terms of when it comes to tight ends. Obviously, we haven't seen Tonjes really at all since Kittle's been back, which that's where I would have liked to see a little bit more even.
Yeah.
Try to put that two tight end set there because now it's like, okay, now teams are like, oh, shoot, Tonjes actually shown to do something.
Right.
So I feel like it would have been cool to see the Niners do that, but I'm not going to take a grade down because of that because, excuse me, that's obviously on Kyle Shanahan.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, this tight end group has definitely gone above my expectations.
Yeah. I'm giving them an A also. I think this is the best tight end group they've had in a long time. I think Jake Tonjes has the potential to be better than like Ross Dwelley, because Dwelley was solid, but obviously they didn't use him enough either. But just what we saw, just being able to step up that early in the season with Kittle out and being that big difference maker for the tight ends group, Tonjes and Luke Farrell,
Yeah.
because Luke Farrell was brought in to be a good blocker, and I feel like he's done better with that throughout the season. But even in the past game, he's made a couple clutch catches. I can't remember what game, but it was a big third down, and he made a pretty tough catch, and he got lit up in one of those. But yeah, these tight ends, Kittle finally healthy again. That's why we're not seeing Tonjes out there as much. I'm really impressed with them, and I really hope to see Tonjes. I think it's 1-year contract or something. I'd love to see him back
Yeah.
this year or next year, but potentially see the Niners draft a great tight end that'll be like the next up and coming George Kittle one day, because Kittle's getting a little older. But if Tonjes could be that guy, that'd be cool, because he's shown that he can.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see
tight
that, but yeah,
end.
I definitely think, man, this tight end group has definitely gone above my expectations.
Yeah, yeah, I've loved it. Okay, defense again, or did we finish
Yeah,
X?
I guess we
Linebacker.
still
We talked about linebackers a little bit.
we
We didn't
did
give them a
we
grade.
yeah. Oh yeah, we didn't too.
So we had Fred Warner, who was playing like defensive player of the year, basically. Nick
Yeah,
Bosa was playing out of his mind for what, 4 games? That's
I give linebacker.
I would give him. Let's see. We got D Winters in there, Tatum Bethune in there, Curtis
I'm like
Robinson in
going
there, Luke
A
Gifford in
minus,
there.
kind of B, because obviously they struggled right when Fred Warner went out, and obviously that's expected. But then, like, ever since then, you've seen Tatum Bethune pretty much be the leading tackler. Curtis Robinson's been solid. D
Yeah,
Winners. I feel like once Fred Warner went out, though, we haven't really seen D Winners as much.
yeah.
But like, it's not to say that he's been playing bad. It's just, I
No,
guess
he's
you're
just
just
been
not
playing
calling it as
complimentary. He
much.
just hasn't been like
Yeah,
that star player.
yeah,
I think I'd give him a B plus,
yeah. I
because
might go a B though.
yeah, D Winters has been playing pretty solid. Tatum Bethune, when he had to come in, was playing good, pretty good as well. But then it's just, I feel like that third linebacker position hasn't been it for the 49ers. Like Nick Martin coming in a couple times, Curtis Robinson, not great in coverage.
Yeah.
Um,
I think
who
Nick
else? Luke
Martin's
Gifford.
pretty solid though.
Yeah, but the only times they put him in, I've
Yeah,
noticed, is for the run game. Like if
yeah,
he
and then
doesn't
it's
play.
because they notice, oh, Luke Gifford's not
Luke Gifford is
it.
absolutely, that's Luke Gifford is the one that takes it down from an A to a B plus, in
Yeah,
my opinion. I'm sorry, Luke Gifford.
yeah,
Great on special
yeah.
teams, but my goodness, you're getting torched. I think it was the Rams game, that 3 tight end set. They was going after him
Mhm.
every single time he was out there.
Yeah,
But yeah, for all the adversity that these linebackers have faced, I've been impressed for the most part.
mhm.
Tatum Bethune's never been a starter, so I mean, we got to see him unleashed. And like you said, this is tight end, or not tight end, linebacker university for the 49ers. They bring in linebackers, and they're
Yeah,
constantly good.
yep,
I think the final position is quarterback, and I think it's good that we left it. I'd say best for last. I'd say best for
yeah.
last. I'll let you go first. Get your mic set up.
I know my mic keeps falling. Hold up. Hopefully it stays. I don't know why it's fallen so much today. All right. Do you want to go first on this one?
Sure, I'll go first. I'm gonna sound like a just like I repeat myself a lot when I say this, because it's Mac Jones. When Mac Jones was in there, he was 5-2 for the 49ers. I've said it 50 times already. I'll say it for the 51st time. Mac Jones was, outside of Robert Saleh, the best signing the 49ers made this offseason. Because if Mac Jones wasn't on this team right now, we wouldn't be talking about the Niners being in the 6th seed. We wouldn't be talking about them
Mhm.
potentially claiming that first seed at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Mac Jones wasn't the quarterback on this team, the backup quarterback, the Niners season would have been over, because Brock Purdy would have been out for 6 weeks,
Yeah,
however
if
long
we
it
had
was.
freaking Brandon Allen or like
If we would have had
Joshua
Brandon Allen or
Dobbs,
the
dude.
astronaut, the Niners season would be over. I don't know who they would have got, like who would have been their backup quarterback if it wasn't for Mac
Yeah.
Jones. So Mac Jones and Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, he played good in his first game. Then he had the turf toe injury. And then he came back from that, but obviously that toe got re-aggravated, so he didn't have a great game.
Yeah.
Ever since then, he's been playing great. Yeah, he had that 3 interception game, but we saw Patrick Mahomes throw 3 interceptions yesterday. People aren't calling for his head. I'm giving this quarterback room an A, not an A plus, but an A. And if it wasn't for Mac Jones, the season would be over. So that's my grade for them.
Yeah, no, I agree. Mac Jones has really saved this team at the quarterback position. Like you said, I don't know what this record would be. Probably fighting for top draft pick if
Yeah.
we didn't have Mac Jones, and it'd be like, okay, what's like we'd probably be talking about this draft class a little bit different, but yeah, I'm gonna get the same grade. It goes a little bit down just because I know Brock's kind of struggled, and but
Yeah.
it's also been like in and out because of the turf toes.
Hmm. But I like the way he was able to
But yeah,
respond after that 3 interception game. I
what
mean, the
was your grade
Niners,
again? An A,
I
right?
gave him just an A. Yeah, a
Yeah, I'm
flat
gonna
A.
go with that too.
And
Okay.
that 3 interception game, the Niners still won. So
Yeah.
that's the thing. And then he put on a good show against the Browns. I was worried about it, and the Niners kind of got lucky with the drier weather going into that Browns game. But I think Purdy's is getting healthier, and I think this bye week, especially for Brock Purdy,
Yeah.
for all these Niners, it's great on their body. He's going to be great on his toe, and I think Brock Purdy is going to be looking his best these next 4 games. I really do, fighting for
Mhm.
you know big playoff implications these next couple
Hey,
games.
maybe Brock's, baby brings some of that,
Maybe, yeah.
energy.
Yeah, he's gonna get that dad strength towards the end of the season. The
Yeah.
faithful Dan, we could talk about special teams too. The kick returning
Yeah,
punter,
that's what I want to talk about. Yeah,
Sky Moore, he says Sky Moore is greater than Ray McLeod. 100% agree. I love
Oh,
Sky
dude.
Moore.
Dude, okay, every time, okay. So let me tell you the whole thing. When we got Ray McLeod, I was like, oh my god, we did the same thing where it's like we kind of revamped, right? We went and got George Odom, we got Oren Burks, right? It was like the first year actually special teams was pretty solid.
Yeah,
Still not as good as what it is this year, but like we weren't screaming out of our lives completely.
yeah.
And then after that, I was like, every time I watch Ray McLeod, I was like, dude, please no.
Please catch
That
the
just
ball.
Yeah, I would just see him catching the ball, and then I'm like, dude, why are you catching it there? Dude, like, that is just terrible
Yeah.
to see him with there. But yeah, man, I special teams, I have to give them an A. I know we said Mac Jones was the best
Mm,
one after, but I mean, it is because he's the quarterback. Like, if this was any other position, I'd probably put special teams up there. But
yeah.
yeah, I was saying, dude, I wanted Eddie Pinheiro
Eddie Pinheiro.
beforehand for sure.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, shout out to Sky Moore and Eddie Pinheiro and
Yeah,
Brant Boyer, man. This special teams now is helping us win games.
yeah. They're not a
We're not,
liability.
it's not the reason, yeah, it's not a liability. It's not the reason we're losing games now. They
Mhm.
are winning games, helping to win games because of this. Sky Moore looks very confident on a weekly basis. I'm not going out there and be like, oh my gosh, anymore. I'm not scared like I was before.
Yeah.
To
And
see
I
for
shouted you
sure.
out a couple episodes ago too, because I remember we were talking about
Mhm.
talking about this like week 3. I was like, Brant Boyer sucks. The special teams unit looks like the same from last season. And then I was like, I gotta give it to you. You're right. We gotta give him a couple weeks to get going a little bit. And Brant Boyer whipped these guys into shape. But yeah, special teams, they're helping the Niners win games. And that's gonna be so important these next 4 games and
Yeah.
for a playoff push. And I really truly believe Sky Moore is gonna return a kick or a punt for a touchdown in the playoffs, and it's gonna help win the Niners a
Man, if
ball
that
game.
happens, dude, if
So
that
yeah, the three
happens.
phases of football have been great. And I
Yeah.
feel like I don't really want to talk about this episode, but just talking about the coaches of the year
Mm,
awards. Um, Kyle Shanahan has been putting on a clinic with how many injuries he's
yeah.
had, 9-4
I
and
think if I had to deal with Jake Moody, though,
mm.
this would be like an F or like a D.
Yeah, I don't know. Jake Moody didn't he kick the game winner for the Bears a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, but with the Niners, he
With
was
the Niners, yeah.
atrocious. So
I
I'd be
know.
like, I'd probably dump it down to like a D or even an F. So
We probably
yeah.
have lost maybe 2 games, 2
But
more
it's
games.
interesting because I didn't see anything about Eddie Pinheiro today. Did you?
I didn't see that. They were hoping I saw before the bye that Shanahan was hoping that he'd be back
Yeah.
because I think it was just a mild hamstring strain.
Yeah, I
So
mean, you still kind of have to be careful with those,
yeah.
but definitely we'll see that there. But yeah, I mean, I know Eddie Pinero was at some signing a few weeks ago,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he said like he'd be back the next week. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Um,
Hopefully that doesn't affect him because I know especially with kickers,
yeah,
like, any leg
yeah,
injury, that can throw
exactly.
off their mojo.
It's literally because your job is kicking. So
Yeah, exactly. That could screw
um,
everything up, but Matt Gay has looked, pretty solid. He had that
yeah.
doink, but it went in,
I
so I
was a little concerned because I know he was playing, was it for the Commanders
yeah,
before I think they cut him, and he was like
he wasn't
kind of
looking
up
good.
and down.
Yeah,
So
but, same
yeah,
thing for Jake Moody, just change the
yeah.
scenery and
Okay, I have to talk about this. Whoever left Jake Moody in Arizona, I need to have a talk because okay, so I'm an Arizona fan, like Arizona Wildcats for
yeah.
college sports, and I've been watching some of our games recently, and
Mhm.
we keep missing these kicks, and I'm just like, dude, did the ghost of Jake Moody like just stay in Arizona
Just
or
haunts in
something?
Arizona.
Yeah, because I'm just like, dude, are you actually kidding me,
Oh, that's terrible.
bro? I'm just like, man.
I know we did all the positions, but what about Kyle Shanahan? We talked about player
Mm.
coach of the year and everything. What would you give Kyle Shanahan for a grade this season?
Yeah. There's been some times where I'm like play calls are a little bit weird, where I'm like it's 4th and 1, and then like you went for it before, you're not going for it before. Because I've liked that he's gone for it this year,
Mhm.
but then I'm like, damn, I would not see that. But I think they've been really, really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan's been really good this year. Um, hmm. I'm gonna give him an A though, just because the amount of injuries we've dealt with,
Mhm.
for sure. Having to deal with him definitely.
Yeah, I think this is probably one of his best coaching seasons, and I feel like he's finally, adjusted a little bit, like, his coaching style. I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm just gonna
Mhm.
give him an A minus right now. Yeah, he's dealt with all these injuries. Robert Saleh, I think, is a big another big reason why the Niners have been winning these games. Brant Boyer for sure, but Kyle Shanahan, I feel like he's just a different type of coach a little bit this year.
Mm.
But it's only been 13 games, and there's still 4 more games this season. So I'm giving him an A minus right now because I'm not completely sold. I want to see because we know Kyle Shanahan could be a choker. I want to make sure
Yeah.
that he's good this entire season. So I'm not going to give him a full A or A plus yet because I want him to prove
Mhm.
more to me. Prove more to me, Kyle Shanahan, that this is your best coaching season. Go finish the job this year. Just do something great. Be great. Don't end the season like how it's ended the past couple years where it's like stupid questionable play calls towards the end of games at the end of the season or whatnot. But yeah, I'll give him an A minus, and I've loved the way Kyle Shanahan has coached this year.
Yeah.
The Niners, they're playing
Let's see.
the Titans.
What are you
Yeah,
giving Sala and Brant Boyer?
Brant Boyer, I'm giving you an A plus.
Yeah, A plus plus plus.
100%. I don't even think we talked about special teams. That's already been told story. So Brant Boyer, A plus, 100%. Robert Sala, I'm giving him an A plus also. I have
Mm,
to. I have to. The way this defense hasn't
yeah.
completely crumbled, and they're
Yeah.
only giving up 15 points the past 2 games. Yeah, it's been difficult because they put up, got blown out by the Rams a couple times and everything, but that's expected. They're a great team.
Yeah, I mean, I give it an A minus just
A
because of
minus
that,
because
but
of that game, yeah, but I just gotta give him an A plus, just the way
yeah.
he's been able to do this, especially with the rookies, and I feel like the
Mhm.
rookies have been getting better, and Robert Saleh is just a great coach, and,
Yeah.
his the players really rally behind him, so I gotta give him an A plus for
I
that.
know he's been showing up in coaching jobs recently, and obviously that's expected, but I really hope the Niners can keep him for a year because
Just try to
I
pay him
hope
the
they could
most.
just keep him,
Just
period. But
pay him as
it's
a head coach, like head coach salary, make him the assistant head
yeah.
coach slash defensive
I
coordinator.
thought they already did.
I don't know, like, made him the highest paid or, like, assistant head coach?
Let me see. I swear, I for some reason thought they gave him the head coach.
I feel like I don't think it's gonna be staying next year because I heard him talking about like obviously everyone like had obviously coaches want to be at the top of the game. They want to show, they want to prove that they can win at the highest level and everything like that. So this is why the Niners need to win the Super Bowl this year because if once Robert Saleh's gone again, we're at square one.
Yeah, so okay. I thought he had like a second kind of head coach of the defense, but I guess not.
Mm,
Um,
just unofficial title.
oh, that's Gus Bradley that they made him the assistant
Oh, right,
coach
right,
of
right.
defense, and
We're
then
talking about
Chris
Gus Bradley
Schwartz.
probably would be
Oh
our
my
defensive
God.
coordinator next year.
Yeah, I thought it. Yeah, I could see that, or even what's his name? The guy from KJ, right?
KJ Wright, yeah.
But I'd say yeah, I'd say definitely Gus Bradley's next up for that, I would think. But yeah, just like FI though, if the Niners don't have Salah for another year, they don't get any draft picks because they
Yeah.
have to have him for at least 2 years.
Oh, really? So you don't get the what's
Yeah,
that called? The comp picks?
yeah.
Yeah, Salah I think is as good as gone. I can see him going maybe to the Steelers if Mike Tomlin decides to move on if he gets fired. Is our coach the coach of the year? Isaac Chavez. He's not coach of the year. We're just talking about potentially Kyle Shannon could be coach of the year.
He should,
Unless
but
he's
I
saying is our coach the coach of the year? Like you guys think he's gonna be coach of the year? Maybe that's what he's questioning. I think he's got a good shot. But I don't think he'll win it because of the way
okay.
Mike Vrabel
Yeah.
has got the Patriots going. And
My thing is what I hate about coach of the year is it's so much about, oh, what's your record? Because if you remember that year where I think what was it, the Ravens went like 15-1,
yeah,
15-2, and then like Kyle Shanahan, he should have won coach of the year and they didn't give it to him.
was that
And it was
2019?
solely was it 2019?
It probably was because
I think
that
it
Ravens team was really good.
yeah, I think it was 2019. It was like, dude, they didn't give him it, but and it was like kind of it felt like solely on record
Yeah.
that they helped to their teams. That's kind of weird.
Have to hope Cleveland fires Stefanski and we get Jim Schwartz. Oh my gosh, that would be a dream if the Niners got Jim Schwartz.
Yeah.
That'd be great. That'd be a great replacement for Robert Saleh.
Mhm.
I don't know if that'll happen, but that'd be sick.
Mhm.
We want to move into just really quickly about the Titans, what you saw from them this last week, real quick. I mean, they're a crappy team. The Niners should
No.
beat them. They're 2-11. The biggest thing that stood out to me, Cam Ward's not a great quarterback. He's pretty inaccurate. I feel like for what I was watching, I didn't see the whole game, but I watched some of the highlights today. But Tony Pollard, he had his best game of the season, 161 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had a 65-yard touchdown run. And we know the Niners' weakness, I feel like, has been that run game. And for some reason, the Panthers decided to only run the ball 7 times on us, even though they had Rico Dowdle, who was on a
Yeah.
tear for most part of the season. Quinshawn Judkins, I think, put up 100 yards on us, but I think that's the
Yeah.
biggest worry for the 49ers is if Tony Pollard puts up another performance like that. I don't think it'll happen, but overall, I think the Niners should win this game. And if they're real playoff contenders, they'll put them away early.
Yeah, the Niners should be going good in this, and they should be able to win. Corner and Kosh Oliver, a thon shout out to him. He says Titans do DVOA through week 13, total 31st, offense 30th, defense 29th. The Niners should be able to
Yeah, so they're
dominate in this
bottom of
one.
the league, obviously.
Yeah,
And it was just, yeah, them against the Browns was just playing to be who's the worst team in the league.
yeah. I feel like Niners should be able to dominate, and especially with the rest.
Yeah, exactly. I think they'll be good. This is like their second bye week. It should be like their second bye week, especially if we have Eddie Pinheiro back too. It's like
Yeah.
have some low intensity kicks, so he doesn't have to worry about it too much and just get in the groove of things if he's back with the 49ers this week.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think we pretty much covered all the bases for this Monday back from the bye week. What do you think?
Yeah. I think Niners should be able to predominate this win. I think when it comes to Eddie Pinheiro, we'll see
Yeah.
what ends up happening, like if he's ready or not. But if they don't feel like he's ready, I feel like he'll be ready for the following week. So
Yeah, I think so
I
too.
wouldn't rush him.
We'll probably know. I don't know if they'll have a press conference tomorrow or Wednesday about injuries and all that. I think it's usually on Tuesdays, right? I don't know how it
I
works
think
for
we
like
usually know more on Wednesday.
Wednesday because that's when they use that practice. So
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see how they do Wednesday.
McCaffrey's gonna ball out this game. Yeah, I think McCaffrey might have a big game against
Yeah.
against the Titans. That'd be nice. Have him. Oh, that'd be sick. I want him to get the thousand season.
Mm, yeah.
The first running back of all time to do it twice in his career.
Mhm. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. But all right, I think we'll end it there.
Yep.
Thank you, Anshul, for joining, and thank you everybody
No
for joining this
problem.
Monday. Merry Christmas season, everybody. December 8th. We're back for the
Happy
pod.
holidays. Yep.
Um, yeah, it's gonna be a good week. We're gonna get some more updates the following coming days. Rich already put in his his score prediction already
Yeah.
on Monday, 30 to
Come
7.
on, Rich. Like
All right, Rich, we're getting ahead of the game here. 30
I
to
never do score predictions.
I love doing them because it's so annoying though because every time my friends and my family are like, man, like you never predict the Niners to lose. Like when I do my score predictions on Instagram, I'm like, yeah, because I think they have a chance to win every single week. And then this year, I did for the first time predicted the Niners to lose against the Rams that first game, and then all in the comments, everyone, you're not even a real Niner fan. You don't have any faith. I'm like, I'm just trying to be real, and then they
Yeah,
won. So
no,
I'm
I literally did that a few years ago when we were playing the Commanders,
yeah.
I think in Washington, and then I had us losing, and everybody was like, "Dude, why are you losing?" I'm like, "Dude, I literally, when I make my predictions, I'm realistic."
Yeah, I'm not trying to be biased. I know I'm a Niner
Yeah,
fan, but I want to be a realistic fan,
yeah.
realistic.
And so then they end up losing it, and I'm like, "See, I was being realistic." Like,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
obviously, I want the Niners to win, but
Yeah.
I don't remember what year that was, but I do remember that being a case where I was like, I don't think the Niners would beat the Commanders, and then they lose to them.
Exactly. So basically, from here on out, the rest of the season, I'm going to be predicting the Niners to win. I like Rich's prediction, 30 to 17. I think mine will be similar to that. Mine always comes out on Saturday, but sometimes I talk about it in one of the podcasts beforehand. Thank you, Isaac Chavez. Keep grinding, boys. Go Niners. Appreciate you. Appreciate your guys' views. Thank you,
Appreciate
Rich.
you.
Thank you, everybody in the chat on Instagram, on Twitter, wherever you're at, on YouTube. I'll see you guys hopefully soon. Thank you again for joining 49er Media.
Thanks
Go
for having
Niners.
me.
Stay faithful, baby.
Go Niners.